Does that happen to you
I
often,
think
Bill? I'm just
He's
curious.
gonna say the same
Like,
thing.
is that something that because I know I've never actually had that happen to me once ever in my life, but I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just curious. How often do you reach for a chocolate bar and get a potato chip? Hey guys, thanks for tuning into this episode. We are brought to you by our sponsors, that being Fearless Nonprofit. They are a small but growing ministry that seeks to help out the communities in need around them. They also have a biblically based trading card game soon to be released called Victory 7. If you want to learn more, check them out at fearlessnonprofit.org. And we also are sponsored by Camp Living Waters. Camp Living Waters is home of the Game Changer Board Gaming Retreat located in Luther, Michigan. They host all kind of other events as well. If you want to learn more about them, check them out at camplivingwaters.org as well. And you can follow both of them on their socials at Facebook and Instagram. Shout out to our sponsors and a huge thank you.
Welcome to the Christian Board Gamers Podcast, where we focus on Jesus, community, and board games. Let's have some fun.
What is up? You are listening to the Christian Board Gamers Podcast, proud members of Love. Just kidding. We're going to redo that, but we're going to leave it in because who wants to edit anything? What is up, man? Thank you so much for listening to the Christian Board Gamers Podcast. We are proud members of the Love Thy Nerd Podcast Network. We are so blessed and thankful to have you listening. Your listening ear matters. It means things. We are super stoked about today's episode. As you can see, we have a third member in the room. This is Mr. Bill Ivie. And we're excited to chat with him about Meeple-A-Thon and all the things that are going on in his world. Just really, really pumped. And as always, we have the most celebrity in the podcast or on the podcast is definitely not me, but it is Mr. Raymond Fields. Ray, how are you doing today, man?
Hey, Joseph, I am doing great. Excited to be here. My friend Bill is here, man. It couldn't get any better than this.
Yeah, so that is true. It can't. So, Billiam, how are you doing today, man? How are you?
I'm doing great. I get to hang out with Ray. You're here too. I mean,
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. He already hit you with the Joseph. Let's go.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. Like, this is just added bonuses of all the bonuses. And so, no, we are super stoked about this. We actually were talking about this at Grand Con about actually putting this episode together because Bill's doing some really neat things with Meeple-A-Thon. We'll learn all about that in a minute. But before we even get into that, I do want to remind y'all that we got that cbglootdrop@gmail.com. That's cbglootdrop@gmail.com. Games are coming in. We're excited to play them. And hey, also, if we don't respond to you right away, don't take that personal. Ray and I are juggling lots of things, but we see them. We're going to get in there. We'll start responding a little bit more, but really, really pumped. People are submitting games. That's really cool. And also tabletop testimonies. We really want to hear about what God is doing in your world at your table as you play games or out in the world playing games. And so again, that's cbglootdrop@gmail.com. Yes, cool, and I'm excited. I got my games back on my shelf for this one. The last episode we recorded, it was a void, and I figured out all the lighting and why I'm no longer in the dark, which is awesome. And it had nothing to do with my actual lighting and everything to do with a Zoom setting. So I'm excited to have light and actually not feel like I'm in the darkness, which is awesome, especially as a Christ follower.
There's something there. I was going to say that could preach, Joe. Yeah, you don't want to be in the darkness, man. Come to the light.
No, absolutely, 100%. John 3, right? John 3, 17 through 21. He says, those who practice the truth, they come to the light. But those who hate the light, they hide in the darkness, right? For fear that their deeds will be exposed. And like everyone that's a middle schooler would hear when I say this, because we're Christ followers, we literally expose ourselves. We come to the light, and we want to make sure that it is clear that God is working on our heart and that we are in him and we are practicers of the truth. Yeah, that was good. Totally off the cuff. Faith nugget as we get this party started.
A faith nugget. Yeah, sounds delicious.
I see a future 3-minute Facebook video coming. Tie this back into like how he fixed the lights through Zoom.
100%, man. God's been doing some really fun things in those little videos. There's no doubt. But you just mentioned a faith nugget. Sounds tasty. Y'all see that Arby's is now coming out with steak nuggets.
Steak nuggets.
Dude,
they got the meats.
But no doubt. But I'm sitting here like a steak nugget. Like, isn't that like normally like a steak tip? Like when you're like at a restaurant, you order a steak tip. You're not like, yo, can I get some of them steak nuggets? Like nobody says that, right? Like who says that? Nobody.
That's
So Arby's
something
was
new,
like,
innovative.
yeah, Arby's was like, bro, everyone's going carnivore. I got an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Steak nuggets. And somebody was like, bro, that's brand new. That's an inventive thing. No,
Yep.
it's steak tips, bro. They've been around for a long time and they're tasty. No
Yeah.
question. So I don't know what sauces they're offering. I don't know. I'm not sure I'm going to put honey
That's the
mustard
thing. The
on
guy
my...
in the back's going to be mad at you. You order sauce with it. He's going to be like, "You're insulting
Oh
my
yeah,
steak,"
you're
right?
insulted
Like,
my steak. Like, yeah. I was gonna say, can you get these at varying temperatures? Like, can I get medium rare steak nuggets, or do I have to get them all one temp? And then what is that temp? Arby's put themselves on the line here.
Yeah.
Right.
try to
Like,
order it well done. They're going to be like, "No, you meant chicken."
you mentioned right, yeah.
Yeah.
Or they already give it to you well done, and then you're sitting here like this is an abomination. Like where?
Yeah,
like,
they're
there's
just
not a
serving up
lick-
jerky back there. That's it.
Right.
There's like it's jerky nuggets. There's no different.
nuggets.
No doubt, no doubt. Like jerky nugget.
Ray's sitting on a gold mine now. He's going to be making jerky nuggets.
Yeah. Well, but see, what is it, Jack's? They already make those,
Jack
right?
Meats, they got
have
nuggets. They're tender and
nuggets.
delicious too. I like them.
They're tender and delicious.
Maybe I'll be stopping by Arby's. Who knows? We'll see about these steak nuggets.
Yeah, right. Arby's just like, bro, we're gonna get on this new thing that everyone's already been doing for years, but we're gonna do it in fast food.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. So that's cool. I just wanted to toss that out there with your little faith nuggets. Get your faith nuggets and get your steak nuggets all at the same shop. Let's go. Let's make it happen. So, man, Bill, geesh, dude, you and I have started to develop a relationship, even though I'm the third wheel in this conversation. We've been building a bit of a relationship over the course of the last year. One of the things that I have loved about you is you have been like a servant. When it came to the Christian Board Gamer stuff, you reached out. You're like, hey, how can I help? I'd love to learn more about your mission and vision and what's going on and how can I assist you? So I guess that was, man, it's almost been a year and a half at this point. How can I help or whatever? And then as we started to get into the Discord, you so graciously stepped in and said, hey, I'd love to, help run the Discord. And so if you guys are on the Discord for the Christian Board Gamers group, you probably see Bill all over that place because he runs that, and man, what a community it has been becoming. So kudos to you, dude. So really appreciate all you've put into that as we continue to grow it. It's been really neat to just kind of see those things develop, right? Like, which is cool because normally I'm the guy doing all the things, and it's nice when other people are like, hey, I want to help. So thank you for doing that and stepping in. But Bill, I want our audience to kind of get to know you a little bit. So we need your social security number. We need any really important information that you might want to give so that identity theft can really happen. But if you don't feel comfortable with any of those things, why don't you share a little bit about yourself and how we come to this point right now?
Sure. So you can reach me at joe.bragg. You mentioned a lot of stuff there, and I'm really excited to be involved and things like that. It's really one of those God moment things that I'd been kind of hanging around Discord on some other stuff. I had wanted to kind of get a server started of just people that I was playing games with. And I was just starting to kind of spin it up and get to learn about it and everything. And then I found Christian Board Gamers. And I see there's no Discord there. And I'm like, well, maybe, like, I'm playing a lot of games with these guys in this Christian Board Games group. Maybe I can intersect the two. Yeah. So I reached out, and next thing we know, we've got a CBG Discord going. I think it's up 300, 400 people in there now. Like, they're constantly talking and everything. Yeah. Some of the great faith-based conversations that happen in there are awesome. And there's a large BGA group in there that just, we're always playing games together. I've been playing games with Brian and John and Brad. We've been playing the crew for over a year now. Wow. Right. We're working our way through it. So a lot of great times there. So I definitely enjoy that. I'm the board game director for a board game convention here. I don't like calling it a convention. We're really a charity, right? Like Meeple-A-Thon is a charity in the Kansas City area. The main focus is that we support the homeless in the Kansas City area in whatever way we can serve them. We do that through, there's a group out there called A Turning Point. It's not Now that kind of kicks up some recent news, right?
Yeah, sure.
Not a Turning Point USA, a Turning Point KC, different group. But their whole focus is on helping guys kind of get back on their feet, giving them some place to stay for a little while, helping them get a little bit of education, whatever they need to do to get them back into the workforce, all that type of stuff. We do a lot of stuff through them. They're a really great partner of ours, and we do that charity outreach. And the way that we do that charity outreach is through a large board game convention, what's becoming a large board game convention in the Kansas City area. It's the largest one in the KC area. There's a few in KC now, but we'll draw between 2,000 and 3,000 people this year. We're in a convention center called the Overland Park Convention Center, and we've got the entirety of the convention center, top and bottom floor. So very large group, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of exciting stuff going on. I'm really excited for this year's Meeple-A-Thon. And then this will be my first year as the board game director. So it was really kind of tasked to me. I came in last year and I kind of shadowed. I wasn't officially part of the board yet. And I kind of shadowed what they were doing. And then we talked about what can I do to kind of help this grow. And they handed me the reins and said, grow it, do what you want with it. Right. And I'm excited to see that kind of come to fruition this year and see how we've reformed that space and how we've done a lot of new stuff that I'm not seeing at other conventions. One of the great things that happened this year was I was lucky enough to catch on with groups like yours, with Love Thy Nerd, with Christian Board Gamers, with a group called Envoy, right? I've been able to go to a lot of different conventions this year. And part of that was so that I could learn what are all these conventions doing around the country, and then kind of bring some of that back to Kansas City and say, hey, I saw this out at Dice Tower, I saw this at Grand Con, I saw like all those different ideas, and kind of bring them back together and try to really kind of make that happen here. So I'm excited for that this year too.
Sweet.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, and again, so you mentioned in here the Kansas City area. So you actually came up. I think talked about it on one of the 2 episodes we covered Grand Con, where you came up from Missouri and got to check out Grand Con, and then we were able to have some conversation and learn a little bit more about Meeple-A-Thon. And I'm excited to be going in November to Meeple-A-Thon as a representative of Love Thy Nerd, to be able to learn more and see what y'all are doing and see how we can plug in into those spaces. So very, very excited about that, and just seeing what you got going on. Being the board game director of a convention, it's pretty cool that they're putting a lot of faith in you there to be like, all right, man, figure it out, make it grow. You're like, a board game convention only thrives with board games, so direct us, director of board games. So that is super cool. So if you had to, like you said, about 2,000-3,000 people, which I think is comparable to Grand Con and some scope there. If you had to compare the two, what would be some similarities and what would be some differences?
I really enjoyed myself at Grand Con and being able to kind of see what it's like to, you and I, like you said, we've known each other for about 18 months straight, and to see what it was like to truly see that as a service opportunity, right? That it was really eye-opening. It was a lot of fun. Had a great time, met a lot of great people. If we were comparing the two, I would say it's very, very similar, right? The convention center in Kansas City, not quite as big as the one Grand Con was in, but the footprint of the convention probably about the same size. Based off of what part of the convention center Grand Con had. About the same number of vendors, I would say, in a similar format, not quite the same way. And then the difference, probably the main difference, is we're more than just a board game convention. I say we're kind of we're 3 or 4 different conventions that are kind of under one big umbrella, right? So we've got board games, we've got obviously RPGs, which I think you see just about everywhere that board games are played. Trading card games, I think they're a little bigger of a footprint for us than they were at Grand Con. Things like Magic the Gathering and some of that stuff, right? And then war games. And that's really kind of where Meeple-A-Thon grew from early on. Huge war game effort, right? Probably a third of our convention floor are just the big terrains and all that crazy stuff that they do with the war games, right? So very impressive to look at. Never been really my thing. But it's kind of fun to just kind of poke over and watch these guys like play those games out and stuff. And there's a great guy named David that's running that side of the convention for us, and he's doing awesome things over there. They've got some tournaments and all kinds of stuff going on. So I think that's probably another big difference is at Grand Con, I felt like it was a lot of just open gaming. which is awesome, right? Like I love to just go grab a game, go sit down and play, right? They had a massive library. We've got a pretty big library, probably not quite as big, but we've got a pretty big library. We've got a play to win library that I think is probably a little bit bigger, if I had to guess.
Sure.
We'll have over 100 titles in the play to win library,
Whoa.
right? And then,
Definitely bigger.
yeah. And then, like I said, we have a lot of different tournaments and things like that that are going on as well. You can win tickets to Geekway in St. Louis. You can win tickets to Gen Con. You can, in a couple of different ways that you can win tickets to Gen Con. We host a big raffle for our charity, and there's all kinds of really cool prizes there where these game companies just kind of come together. Allplay sent us a package of about 8 different games that they want raffled off, and some of the other guys, Lucky Duck, sent us a package of games and that. So always great to see. And then probably I assume what you're leading into here is I kind of took some ideas from different conventions. I see these demo areas where people are teaching games. And we almost always, every convention has a play to win library where they're playing games and they get to take them home. And we took those two and we're like, what if those two kind of went together? Right? Because I love sitting at a demo table. I like when people teach me how to play a game. But I like to win a game and take it home from a convention too, right? Like I like to go home with something. And I find when I go to some of the other conventions, I'm kind of conflicted there. Which one do I want to do? Do I want to go check out a play to win game, or I want somebody to teach me how to play a game? So what we did was we kind of combined the two, and we decided, you know what, if you sit down at one of our special demo tables, we're calling them learn to win tables, right? If you sit down at one of those tables and you learn a game from one of our teachers, he's going to teach you. They're going to walk you through the whole thing. They're going to be there while you play a complete session of the game and then answer any questions or whatever. And then you're entered for a chance to win that game off the table at the end of the convention. So we've got about 20 titles in that run now. It started off with our original goal was 12. We ended up with 16 by the time we reached out to you. We've added 4 more to that since we've reached out to you. So there's 20 games in the Learn to Win system.
Oh, wow.
That we'll be doing 20 games at 19 different tables. So a lot of fun where people can just come in. Like I said, you sign up ahead of time. I can't stress that enough. Some of those sessions are selling out already for some of the hotter games.
Sure. Yeah.
But doesn't cost you anything. I say selling out because you got to go buy a ticket through the system, right? But you grab a ticket, you sit at the table, you learn how to play the game. At the end of the weekend, we're going to give it away to somebody.
Nice.
Love that. So you have individual teachers that are like, hey, I'm going to teach this game, or how is that working?
Yeah, we've got each person that's teaching a game is responsible for the one game that they're teaching, right? So I said 19 tables. It's 10 tables with 19, right? We've got a morning shift and an evening shift. So there'll be 10 games on the table in the morning, 9 games on the table in the evening. Same person, each one has an individual teacher. We do have one lady who's just really passionate about demoing games. She probably one of the people that I enjoyed learning games from initially when I first kind of ran into demos. So I was excited to bring her on. She's going to teach a couple of different games for us. So we're excited for that too. But yeah, you can learn in the morning, learn in the evening, sign up for the different sessions. They run all weekend long. Each game has 5 sessions. Each session has 4 people sitting at the table. So if you do the math at that point, you're able to, you've got a 1 in 20 chance of winning, right?
Yeah,
so there's
wow.
people entered to win that game. So
yeah, that's super good. Yeah, I like those odds. Ray, you looked like you were going to say something.
I was just intrigued by this play to win. I wish that I could make it down there so I could be at one of those tables, man. That sounds great. Love that idea.
It's a lot of fun. And a lot of the guys that are teaching are either connected to me or friends of mine or people that I've had teach me games over time or that I ran into at another convention watching teach, right? We didn't just kind of grab anybody and everybody and say, hey, you want to teach a game, right? We kind of vetted that out. We wanted people that people are going to enjoy learning from and they're going to enjoy playing with, right? And being able to just kind of sit and interact with for a couple hours. And then hopefully they win some games and they get to take them home, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I love the idea of the learn to win too, because there's actually a personal touch that happens in that versus just like the play to win. Like the play to win, you go and you grab it off the shelf, and then you sit down with your friends and you play. Some don't even play. Some just like hold it for a little bit and then return it because they want to have an entry into the play to win, right? To win it. But what I like about the learn to win is there's like literally a touch point. So like you said, you've got friends, you got people who have taught games, right? Like I would view that even as like from let's say from an LTN perspective. If I wanted to do from a missional perspective, where I might be like, yo, I'm going to grab one of these games and I'm going to be a teacher. Like, hey, Bill, let me go ahead and teach XYZ game. I could play it. I know how to teach it. And that just generates relationship, which would further being able to, Lord willing, have some opportunities to be able to share Christ with people in unique ways or whatever. Now, that wouldn't be the purpose of that. But I think, initially having those touch points, it's kind of a neat way to frame it, because it's not me just trying to learn it on my own. I actually get to sit down and learn. And then those odds of the learn to win are so much better than general play to win, because in a play to win, you're up against 2,000, people, and however many people pick those games, right? Again, 100 games, you probably have a good chance that not everyone's going to get in, so the odds aren't too bad because of the scope of your play to win. But a 1 in 20 chance just to sit down and learn a game, I mean, that sounds like good odds, man. That sounds like a fun move.
Yeah, that's part of what we're trying to do too, is you kind of hit on it, right? It's fostering the community,
Heck yeah.
right? That's in the Kansas City area, because you're right. You can go grab a play to win game, but chances are if you go grab a play to win game, you go back to the table, you're going to sit down with your friends, right? You might put up a players wanted sign, but a lot of times you're going to sit down with your friends, you're going to play the game. If you grab a game that's got a poor rule book, all of a sudden, I don't want to win this. This game was really bad, right?
Right.
But you get a teacher, and all of a sudden, hey, that game's not all that bad. That game's actually pretty good. I like that game, right? And you jump in. But at the same time, when you sign up for Learn to Win, chances are you're just buying a ticket for yourself. So now you're going to sit at a table with a teacher that you don't know, 3 other people that you maybe don't know. And that's one of the things that I've really learned with going to some of these conventions is I sit down and I learn something at a table of people I don't know. And next thing I know, that evening, you've had this happen just at just general convention, right?
Yep.
That evening, you're walking around looking for something to do, and somebody's like, "Hey, come over here! Like, we got a spot for an extra, right?"
100%.
And now you fostered a little bit of that community. You're making friends and relationships inside of there, that you normally wouldn't make.
Yep.
Because I go to a lot of these conventions by myself, and man, that players wanted sign's awesome, but it's a little awkward, right? Like,
it can be
just sitting there by yourself, like, will somebody come play a game with me? I hope, right? But this allows you to kind of get a chance to connect with people, and then hopefully avoid some of that later in the weekend, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this is why I love the idea of trying to, in these smaller thousands of people is not smaller, but smaller conventions, that whenever there's some level of like the hot games or like a learn to play or something where it's just like this built-in relationship already that can happen. I mean, absolutely 100%. That transcends into the rest of the weekend. Yeah, definitely had it many times where people are like, oh man, like, yeah, I wanted to play a game with you. I'm glad we're actually getting to do that. Thanks for teaching that one earlier. Like, I'm glad we get to the table and play XYZ game. And it's just, and if anything, when you're walking around, you see them and then they're playing something and you're like, hey, what are you playing? And like, there's already a wall that's broken down just based on creating that community through play. Plus, you're a local convention with local people. You're a local guy, so that can even build into other gaming opportunities or connections, which I think is stellar.
Yeah, we see that a lot. We see it at some of the local conventions that I've been
sure.
going to, where we see people that are teaching games. I've got to know people. Like, some of those people are now going to teach games for me, right? And I didn't know them from Adam when I sat down to play with them the first time, right? But now you get a chance to kind of get to know people and get a feeling for, like, that's somebody I like to play games with, that's somebody I don't like to play games with, right? But you get kind of that vibe going. And when you're local, you then walk into a convention, you walk into a game store. When we started talking about Meeple-A-Thon 2025, one of the first things I wanted to do was a big dice throne tournament. I'm a big dice throne fan. I like the game. One of the marketing guys is local to Kansas City. So I was like, this is easy, right? And I met with one of they call them Diceroys that run their tournaments for them, right? And I met with him, and when I go to meet with him to say, like, hey, would you come run this tournament for us? I look up and there's 2 guys sitting there playing in that tournament that weekend that I had met at a previous convention, and they came up and started talking to me and stuff. And I'm near Kansas City, but I'm not in Kansas City. So sometimes that community is still a little bit, I'm just a little bit outside of that community. I'm not
Sure.
there all the time. So being able to just kind of drop in and see a friendly face or have somebody come up and be like, Bill, what's going on, man? Like it's good to kind of have that connection.
Yeah. Yeah. Love it. So I have your list of well, before we get to the list of the games here, one, I love what Meeple-A-Thon's doing. I mean, obviously dealing with homeless and trying to provide viable solutions. Praise God. Right. And what a creative thing to do to have a gaming convention, something that people want to do, that those, proceeds of the badges can go into helping, really cool, really unique, right? Like this is stuff we should be about, and I think that's awesome. And it's more incentive. Like, hey, don't just come and play games, but also support a good cause. Like that's something we should be able to get behind, right? Like, hey, getting people food and shelter, yeah, okay. Wait, and I get to play board games all weekend, yeah, okay, cool, right? Like, sign me
And
up.
the whole thing centers around it, man. Like it's badge sales, it's raffle sales, they have games set aside that when you're playing, especially the D&D type games, they have games set aside where there's a bucket at the end of the table where you can pay $1 and re-roll a roll, right? So you had a bad roll on a attempt of something, or you had something that you didn't like how it outcome, right? Like you drop $1 in there and you re-roll, but that $1 goes to charity, right? It's really a unique environment. We say it's Meeple helping people, right? And it's really just an awesome environment to be in, to see everybody that's there, from the attendees to the vendors to those of us that are running the convention. Like everybody's all in on the fact that it's not just a game convention. Like we're actually doing something, right?
Yeah. I love that, dude. If it was up to, like, if I was rolling and paying $1 for bad rolls, bro, I'd be broke. My wife would be like, "What happened?" Be like, I could not. I needed the nat 20, bro. I just kept throwing the money in. It wasn't working."
Now I know when Joe comes up, I'm just going to put a bucket at the end of the table, pull out mythical dice. We're going to play
right.
for all night long.
No,
exactly.
Yeah, nah, mythical dice. I for whatever reason I can roll well in that one, but it's awful.
That's not how I remember it.
No, I know. Hey, look, it's mythical, right? So I'm just creating my own myth around it. Like, yeah, I roll super well every time I play that game, bro. Hands down. I'm always good on my bets. Like, I always get it. Said nobody ever, bro. Yeah, I love that game.
But it looks like you roll by faith and not by sight.
I do. I roll by faith. Shameless plug there, bro. This is that new shirt design. You could pick this one up, right? So roll
like
by
that.
faith,
like
not
that.
by sight. Having some
Hey,
fun.
I do have a question that you didn't speak about. What's the vendor set up for barbecue down there? I mean, it is Kansas City, so I want to hear about it. This might be something to get me to
reschedule your daughter's dedication.
my daughter's dedication, seeing what this barbecue situation is like.
And this episode's going to air, and all of a sudden our wives aren't going to let us hang out together anymore.
Yeah, and it's all centered on it's all centered on food. We've got now we're back to it.
Hey,
the vending situation's interesting because we are at a convention center that has they have their own like cafe in there. Right. So we can't bring in the outside vendors. But the great thing about Kansas City is you're usually within about 2 blocks of a good barbecue place.
Yeah,
and we are. There's one just down the street. Maybe one of the more famous ones here recently, Q39's not, it's within about a mile of where we're at. Famous for, that's where not Patrick Mahomes, but his younger brother likes to frequent and get in a little bit of trouble every now and then. So, but yeah, there's always some good barbecue around Kansas City. So we joke with our St. Louis friends that the best barbecue place in St. Louis, you just head west for about 2.5 hours and then stop at the first one you see, right? Because it doesn't matter which one you run into, it'll be better than what you're going to find over there.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I just want to take a brief moment here to discuss my new book, Reclaiming the Table for Jesus. See, I believe that our homes are ministry vehicles, and our tables and our board games are tools that can be used to reach people for Christ. See, when we open up our homes, when we do life with each other, this can be used in both discipleship and evangelism. We can grow grow together in Christ, but also as we invite people in who don't know Jesus, they can begin to see us live our life, relationships begin to form, trust is built, and then Lord willing, we have this opportunity to proclaim the good news of Christ as we get to be the hands and feet of Jesus in these scenarios. It's not about perfection, it's not about performance, it's about presence, and that we would use our homes in such a way. So again, Reclaiming the Table for Jesus is my first book. It's out now. I pray that it's a blessing. It's a quick read. It's intended to be read, digested, and applied. You can find it on Amazon in paperback and in Kindle format. But again, just really excited about what God's doing in this space, and I can't wait to see how he uses games in your home to reach people for Jesus. You can find it on Amazon. Appreciate you. Now back to the episode. Peace.
I love how you straight up didn't say like Patrick Mahomes' little brother. Instead, you said not Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, you got to make
brother.
sure.
Like,
got to make sure, man. People hear what they want to hear, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. True. Not Patrick Mahomes. No way is
yeah.
that the truth. But no, his little brother.
His little brother's a handful.
Yeah, but it's got to be rough, bro. Being the little brother of like a superstar quarterback. I can't imagine that being an easy go. Like you're always just Patrick Mahomes' little brother. Like there's you have no other identity at this point. So what are you gonna do? Cause trouble, right? I'm gonna get my own rap sheet going here. Yeah,
Get my name out there.
I'm gonna get my name out here. Like, yeah, all right, yeah, I robbed that bank. I did that. I'm that guy. You know, like
I'm that Mahomes.
I'm that Mahomes,
That
bro.
Mahomes.
Yeah, you heard right here, bro.
All right.
Don't call me Patrick Mahomes' little
Sorry
brother
to the
again.
Mahomes family for this segment of the show. We apologize.
Yeah, because they're often listening. Now that we have Bill on the show, they're definitely listening.
Definitely. They know.
Yeah, but you know Patrick Mahomes' little brother's like, I don't know his name. Patrick Mahomes' little brother is like literally like, yeah, bro, I'd be like that. Like he's all in. Like we're fine. He's not. He's gonna email us and say thank you, bro. You're bolstering my name. Like I don't know.
Have Jackson Mahomes on the show next time.
Is that it, Jackson Mahomes?
Jackson, yeah.
Hey, if he wanted to come in and be like, yo, bro, we got not Patrick Mahomes, but Patrick Mahomes' little brother on the show. I will
Guess who we have this episode?
That will
Not Patrick Mahomes, but his little brother.
That would literally be the title of the next episode. Not Patrick Mahomes, but
His little brother.
His little brother.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, wow. Yeah. You know what? This is what we love about this podcast. There's no telling where we're going to go. And the things that have like drawn out, we've seen it in the Discord too. Like people like the level of infatuation with Ray and his cats has just continued to escalate, which I absolutely love. Now we have the cat overlords. Like there's just
It's great.
all sorts
I
of
just
things
like that we
have
can use the
developed.
burrito reaction even in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And know exactly what that means. That's like
Yeah,
a
good
God,
stuff.
it's a faith nugget. It's a God nudge. It's
It's
a
a faith nugget. Oh man, a morsel. Yes,
morsel.
it was good.
a tasty steak burrito, which had
Faith
steak
tips.
nuggets in it. So
Good, actually. Yeah.
yeah, it did. Right. That's what I mean. There's a lot to this. There's levels, man. There's depth to our podcast.
There's
That's all it
levels.
is. All right. So I wanna wrap through this list a little bit here. I mean, I'm actually not gonna wrap it, but like, yeah, all right, yo, check it. No, that's
Kick
not how
that
to
beat,
Don't
Joe.
do
kick that beat. No, I could probably do it. That's the thing. I could rap this whole list and like freestyle in between, but that's for another podcast for another day. But I'm gonna go through this list, and then there's 4 that you said are not on this list. I'm curious to hear what they are. So we've got for the learn to play, Wondrous Creatures, Comic Hunters, which is funny because I've seen Comic Hunters played out in the wild. I think my wife actually played it. And I went to go just pull up the BGG and didn't realize how famous you were, Bill. I didn't realize that I was the least famous as this person in this podcast because I pull up the BGG thing thinking I'm clicking on the BGG link because that's what it had. And no, it's an article by Bill Ivie over here. Just flat out, boom, Comic Hunters, a first impression. What a great title that you have here. And then it's just like, boom, this like really rich pictures included, components, like full-blown review. And that's literally the first thing that pops up when you type in Comic Hunters in Google. So Bill, how'd you pull that off, bro?
Man, I've got a writing background, right? I used to be a sports writer. I used to do some reviews and some op-ed type stuff. And I thought, hey, I'm falling into board games. I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. Like maybe I could get into kind of doing some reviews for some things and stuff like that. And right about the time that I decided I give that a shot. It's kind of funny that that's the one you found, because I think that was the first one I wrote. But it was legitimately like, I got Comic Hunters, and I was like, I got some opinions here, right? Like, I got to get this out. So, yeah. So I jumped on, and I was like, BGG's got kind of a place where you can have your own kind of blog. And I thought, well, I can maybe put a few of these up, and I got about 2 or 3 of them up there, and then realized I don't have time to do that in my life. So that's about as far as it went. But Comic Hunters was one of the first ones, and great game. I absolutely love the game. The gameplay. I'm a big sucker for thematic play, right? Like, I want a game that tells me you're a comic hunter, and I feel like I'm out there hunting comics. I was a comic collector for a long time. That game, just the whole time you're playing, you feel like you're racing somebody trying to get to the comic book before they get to the comic book, right?
Okay.
The components are a little rough, right? There's some upgrade kits out there on Etsy that make them a lot better, and really kind of elevate the game back up to where it needs to be. But the gameplay itself, absolutely a great game.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you just said that part, because you were like, "Oh, I love that game," and I'm like, "Yeah, you gave it a 7.5 out of 10." So I'm like, "How?" I mean, you got a tight schedule, tight rating scale. You're like, "Yo, I loved it, but it ain't an 8. It's not. It's 7.5." But maybe that was a component thing, because you did say I'm giving this one a 7.5 out of 10 for now. Is what it said. It's definitely found a current spot in my rotation of games, and will find its way to the table more often in the near future. So. Hey guys, if you want to see how Bill responded to Comic Hunters, check it out. Just Google Comic Hunters, and then bam, this is what's going to pop up first. So yeah, I just thought that was very interesting. I was like, oh, I'm going to the BGG page. I'm like, why does that name look familiar? Oh, wait, this is Bill. Got it. Yeah. So then you also got Dice Throne on here. Now, was it Dice Throne like in general? Like, we talking volume 1? We talking like, where are we at with it? Is it what Dice Throne is this?
Yeah. So we've got. Excuse me. We've got a range of characters that you can play from, right? That you'll be able to pick from, whether it's season 1, season 2, or Marvel. I think with the timing of the show, I also grabbed a copy of the Santa versus Krampus.
Oh yeah,
right. So that we could even have Santa in there a little bit with the timing of the convention. But yeah, you'll be able to kind of pick and choose a little bit, right? And play through that. So Dice Throne, awesome. They've got. What do they got? Like 2 seasons out now, plus a Marvel season. They've got one that's delivering right now. Like, I'm a big backer too. You can see it right here over my shoulder. So they've got one that's delivering right now. They're getting ready to kick off another Kickstarter for another one. So a lot of great characters, a lot of depth to that game.
Yeah.
And really fun, just battle Yahtzee, right? With maybe a little bit of Magic the Gathering mixed in there, right?
Yeah.
With the cards. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
No, I enjoy Dice Throne. I think it's a great game. A lot of fun. I've actually played the Santa versus Krampus game characters, and Santa, in my mind, is a little he's a little OP compared to Krampus, but that's just my thing. That's just my thing. Yeah, dope. No, that's cool that you have that variety. Love that. And then you have Adulthood. Now, I don't know much about this game at all, but I saw somebody pick it up at Grand Con while we were there, and I was like, oh, put a pin in this, because I know who picked it up. It was Michael. And Michael hopped on the Discord because I had said I was the only veteran on that, and I completely missed the fact that Michael's like more of a veteran than I am on the trip. And he made sure to comment on our Spotify, "You were not the only veteran." So, one, Michael, thank you for listening. This is why, now I know you listen to the podcast, because you were able to call me out, rightfully so. So Michael was on the trip as well. Michael is like veteran extraordinaire, almost as famous as Ray, but not quite. So Michael, public apology. You're correct. I was not the only veteran on the trip. You were as well. And he bought Adulthood, and I was like, I don't know what that is, and why would I want to play a game about adulting? I feel like that's what I already do.
It's New Age Life to me, right? Like, if you remember the game of Life, it's all about, and kind of, we'll get to that other one here in a minute that we're going to talk about with the place for all my books, but kind of that same mindset of you're kind of balancing your life. Like, where do you want your life to be about charity and helping other people? Do you want it to be about your career? Do you want it to be about your family? Do you want to try to balance all those things, right? And there's all kinds of different ways to win. You can win being completely greedy. You can win being completely career-minded, right? Like, it just depends on how the game plays out each time. So it's a lot of fun. It's from our friends over at Brotherwise Games. I've been a big fan of theirs since early on in my game collection. So they were the guys behind D6 was one of the first games that I played of theirs. So
Okay. So comparable to like The Pursuit of Happiness, or like,
yeah, I
you
would
know,
say that. Yeah,
okay.
probably a little bit more scale it down a little bit, maybe not as heavy as The Pursuit of Happiness, right? Like a little more
Okay.
opening, inviting, I guess. So
Okay.
I like the
Okay.
artwork too. It's fun
Yeah.
art.
Nice. Yeah, no, I mean, it looked cool. I was just like, I don't know what this is. I hadn't even heard of it. And then he just picked it up, and I was like, oh, okay. So then I see it on this list. I'm like, oh. And then, yeah, you got Quacks on here. Again, that's probably like just new art and all that. So you guys are hitting on that, which is nice. I think that's pretty cool. Merchants of Andromeda, Through the Desert, Crafting the Cosmos. What's that?
Crafting the Cosmos was a Gen Con release and a pretty big popularity coming out of Gen Con. Caught a lot of attention. Honestly, haven't played it myself. We just received the copies for Learn to Win this week. So brand new game, right? Just hitting the shelves. So, but it looks gorgeous, right? Like I was able to kind of at Gen Con was able to kind of check it out on a table. They had it out, and the components and that. It looked really gorgeous. It looked like something that I would sit down and play. People were buzzing coming out of Gen Con. I'm like, why not?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's one I haven't even seen. Ray, have you seen that one?
Have not. I didn't see it there, and it looks like something that Neil deGrasse Tyson would probably play. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
good.
great.
Awesome. It's Atheism, the board game. No, sorry. My bad. Man, we're just like, this is not intended. Like this episode was not intended to just trash people's character, but I mean, come on. Man, I'm gonna sick Patrick Mahomes' little brother, Neil deGrasse. No, I'm not doing that. What are we talking about? All right, so Crafting the Games. Let's go.
We're gonna find out who listens. You're gonna get all kinds of mail.
Yeah,
That's joe.bragg@gmail.com.
If Neil deGrasse Tyson listens to our show, goodness, man, I would praise the
Man.
Lord, bro. Neil, if you're listening, we're still waiting for Nicolas Cage to hit us up, and it's not happening.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that's the big one. He's the big one.
can't wait, right? Yeah. So all right, so Crafting the Cosmos, Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's actually the solo mode. You play against him, right? Like he's the Automa or whatever. That's perfect. I love this. Sorry, Billy, you're on the Christian Board Gamers podcast, bro. Like,
Oh gosh.
you know how this goes. You know how this rolls.
I have nothing beneficial to add here. I'm just throwing out random comments just so you guys know. I'm in the background here. So yeah.
You just added a lot, bro. Like,
Get set for
you-
some more. Get set for some more here. It's
yeah,
coming up.
you came with the comic relief, bro. Like, you just I mean,
That's what I'm
whatever.
here for.
Yeah, it works. You know, it's
All right.
different. This is just a different type of episode. So all right, so
love it.
super boss monster. So that's cool. Flip Tunes, which is one you really like, yeah.
It is, yeah. I like Flip Tunes. It's a deck builder, maybe auto battler. I've heard it called. Right. It's pretty intro level deck building. Right.
Okay.
It's pretty much you put out a market, you score some points, you go buy from the market, you dismiss cards, you try to get the best hand you can get. It moves really quick. It's easy to learn. It's on BGA if you want to give it a try. Right. It's pretty quick and easy to just sit and play. If you're sitting at a table playing with 4 or 5 people, 15, 20 minutes a hand, right? And you can play through the game. So a lot of fun, great filler game when you're just like, what are we going to do until we got to go do something else here for a few minutes, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we got a cat sighting finally.
Yeah, right. Ray's
The
giant cat.
overlords.
The-
Overlords have returned from the outside. They just came back from crafting the cosmos with Neil deGrasse Tyson. So they're here to get some food and fuel up and go back.
Perfect. Oh man, love it. Yep. Again, you just never know.
Give the people
Nice.
what they want, Joe.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah,
That's right.
if a cat doesn't appear, we're not doing it right. If
That's
you're just
right.
listening, you have no concept of what this cat looks like. So check out our YouTube. All right, so Age of Comics, naturally different than comic. Oh, this is the Age of Comics. So this is the Neil deGrasse Tyson, like, he's looking into the future. It's instead of like the Age of Aquarius, it's the Age of of comics. It's a stretch.
Yeah.
It's whatever. I'm not here for comedy relief. That's it. But
Keep
that's
reaching.
cool.
I'm just going to let you keep reaching and
Yeah,
figure it
it's
out.
the age of the not comic, right? Yeah, I got
Right.
it. Yeah, I
Age of
understand.
Comics, more about making the comic books, right?
Mhm.
So developing your own comic book happens. The theme puts you back in the kind of, the 30s, 40s, 50s when those comic books were truly like detective novels and things like that. One of the fun things that you can do inside of that game is you can actually create knockoffs of a comic and basically just make photocopies of it. It's not as sharp. It doesn't look as good, but it'll get you a point, right? So, yeah. So it's an interesting look at kind of the industry that is comic books, where Comic Hunters is a little bit more on the collector side.
Yeah, that's cool. So you got all
Play
of
those
them.
back to back. Have a bunch of fun.
Yeah,
I like
that's
the
it.
artwork for it. It has that old school, that 20s, 30s, 40s feel to it,
Yep.
and all the components. We're gonna have to play this one, Joe.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a sucker for theme. I'm a sucker for art, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah,
the
exactly.
amount of games that are in my collection that I bought because wow, that looks cool,
Mhm.
right? And then you get it home and you play it and like, well,
It looks
maybe
cool.
maybe not. It looked cool, right? Like, but some of them you really do get a chance to kind of hit on. And the Age of Comics was one that the artwork catches your eye, the theme catches you if you're a comic book guy, and they go together really well. They pulled it
So
off.
something that you might not know, Joe, is that I have an extensive comic book collection. My grandfather was a comic book collector, and so he would read them and give me all his comics. So I have boxes and
Really?
boxes and boxes of comics. Yeah.
Huh.
And so looking at this board game, that's what it hit a chord, something like in that feel zone for me, connecting me with my grandfather and him in the comic book. So yeah, this looks cool. I like it.
So official
like the word
title,
theme.
Age of Comics: The Golden Years. Yeah.
See, here we are, board games helping us learn more about Ray.
Yeah, I was gonna say I did not know that,
awesome.
Ray. That's awesome, nerd.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
it. No, I think that's
A little bit.
fantastic,
Yeah.
bro. That's cool. No, that's rad. So yeah, so BGG has this at like a 2.5 for rate. Would you say that's accurate? You feel like it's a little bit more on the light to mid side?
Yeah, I would say it's I would put it in a mid. Yeah, it's not really as light as some of the others. I would say Comic Hunters is probably a little lighter.
Okay.
It's definitely a little bit more entailed. You have to it's kind of worker placement. You're getting your guys out there into different areas and trying to compete with what areas you're going to. It takes probably a good round and a half before you kind of really get into that mindset of like, okay, I see what I got to do, right? Like I got to go get this in order to make that happen, type thing. So
Like it.
worker placement, resource gathering. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Those
Yes,
two.
that's you're speaking Joe's
Yeah, I
language
was
right
gonna
Yeah,
say,
I know the
those-
words to
those-
say to Joe too. I'm trying to get
Yeah.
it to your table there.
Yeah, all you have to do is add some deck building in there, and it's like it's a win-win-win.
I mean, there are cards. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it looks really
Hand
nice.
management, yeah, we're good. In-game bonuses. Oh, decades are the 50s. I'm sorry, the wrong theme. I was in the bootlegging years with the 20s and 30s, so we'll move up to the 50s here.
Yeah, perfect.
Dynamite drop in, Joe.
Was that?
This is a dynamite drop in.
Yeah, well, you know what? This is this is what I'm here for, bro. I just, yeah, cool. We'll actually have to. I'll check with Dion over at Voss and see if they have Age of Comics on their in their library, and if they do, we can work on getting it to the table. All right, Twinkle Twinkle, Trinket Trove, Lord of the Rings, Fate of the Fellowship. All right, yo, like I was really excited about that, and then I saw it on the table. When I'm at Strong Tower, like Drew was teaching it a couple times, and my excitement went bam 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 bam. Like I was not like, sorry, Rick, just when you took a sip of the water.
I love The Price is Right. That was very accurate of losing.
Yeah, got it.
Ray feel like he was homesick from school all of a sudden.
Yeah, right.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah.
That was the only
Bob,
reason
is
why
that
you stayed
you?
home.
Yeah. All
I
right.
don't think Bob went bum 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 into the mic, but yeah, yeah, and definitely not Drew Carey. But again, this is not about bashing any form of character and or anything. Yeah, I was not super like. I watched the teach. I was like, this feels a little bit. I love the pandemic system. There's no question. I wasn't catching that vibe so much on the. I don't know if maybe I just have to sit down and bite the bullet and actually play it. But I lost a little bit of gusto around the game. It looks incredible. Have you played it, sir?
It looks great. I've played it once. It's one of those that I tell people when I play a game sometimes, like, I feel like that game's smarter than me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like you got to get that impression sometimes. Sometimes you play it and you play it a couple times and you realize, no, maybe the game's just not my type of game. Right. But sometimes you just feel like I played it. I don't think I played it right. Right. And that's the way that one kind of felt when I walked away from it. That is the one that if anybody's listening to this in the Kansas City area and that's on your list of games that you want to play at Meeple-A-Thon, go get your ticket. That one's selling out quick.
I'm sure.
Sessions filled up real quick when we posted that out there. So there's I think there's 2 sessions of the 5 sessions that have a seat left available in them. So that one moved quick. But you're right, it's got a table presence, right? Like it looks amazing on the table. But yeah, it was hard for me to wrap my head around for some reason.
Yeah, it seemed that way. And then I would talk with people after they played it. And again, that would be one I would definitely want to do a learn to play, right? I would not want to try to figure that one out on my own for sure. But yeah, I would talk with people after and there was those who like really liked it, but it took them a while to get it. The game went a lot longer than I had thought it was going to go. And then they had others that kind of walked away and they're like, man, if other people aren't on top of their game and they're not doing what they need to do, like it is not like people were just not using their powers or not like whatever it was. He's like, it just became a mess, and that really taints the experience. So it's like, it seems like one of those games you just got to have the right play group for. You got to have people that are really paying attention and dialed in and kind of know the mechanics of the game. Again, I'll give it a shot. But like I said, I was super excited about it. It looks incredible. And I was like, wow. And it looks so good when I saw it on the table. And as I was just watching people play, I'm like, I don't know that I'm there for that right now. So
I think the marketing almost shot itself in the foot by the whole, like, as it was coming out, everyone was like, oh, yeah, it's pandemic, but it's been reskinned for Lord of the Rings. And I think everybody kind of leaned into that.
Right.
And it's not. Like,
Nah.
I could see a little bit of the pandemic system influence in it, but it's so much more than that, right? There's a whole nother level to it that's not in that pandemic area. And I think sometimes, it's kind of like when you sit down to eat a chocolate bar, right? And you pick up a potato chip because you're not looking, right? Like, I like potato chips. Tasted funny when I thought I was going to eat chocolate, though.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's kind of that same concept. When you sit down and you think, I'm going to play Pandemic, but it's going to be Lord of the Rings, and then that's not what you get.
Does that happen to you
I
often?
think
Bill? I'm just
I was
curious.
gonna say the
Like,
same thing.
is that something that because I've never actually had that happen to me once ever in my life, but I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just curious, how often do you reach for a chocolate bar and get a potato chip? I'm just like wondering what your snack table looks like and how's it laid out. What
Let me fix that for you, Ray. It's like the waitress brought me a Dr. Pepper and I thought I was going to get a Coke.
Yeah,
right?
Okay. Well,
Right.
I have had where I thought I was gonna drink a pop and it was water and been totally off. So I can relate.
And both
much
things you
more to
like,
that.
it's fine, right?
Yeah.
But
I
when you
get it.
thought you were getting the other one, right?
I get it. No, I'm with
I'm
you.
a big guy,
tracking.
Ray. There's all kinds of different food on my table.
I'm just
okay?
usually when
Oh,
I
I
set
can't
my
stop.
plate up, I try to set like things like in their own specific area. Maybe I need to go your route and just throw things on and then don't look, and it'll be a surprise every time I grab something, and my
Do
palate will
that
be
horrible
surprised.
thing with the candy bowl, right? Just get a candy bowl, dump some M&Ms, some Skittles, some Reese's
Yeah.
Pieces,
And
mix it
just
all
see-
together. You
and
never
just see
know
what
what's
happens. Yes.
But see, that makes more sense because those kind of have a similar feel. Like if you grab a potato chip, you're gonna know before you put it in your mouth that you didn't grab a chocolate bar.
It's like, when did this chocolate bar get ruffles? I don't remember Nestle doing that. This must be something different. My goodness.
See, you don't remember. See, maybe I'm the old guy here. Joe's my age. You remember the Reese's that look like Pringles?
Yeah. No, I got you.
Yeah, they
No,
look just like a Pringle. Like they had the same shape and everything. Like
but
came
it
in
was
the
just
same
the
container.
way
Yeah.
you said it. It was like, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like, does that happen to you often? Because I've never had that happen. And even like just walking through that process, like you said it like it was a real life example. Like you're like, man, you ever had like a chocolate bar and accidentally grabbed a potato chip? Oh no, I haven't, Bill.
You
Never
gotta
had that
hang out with
happen.
me more. I'm just
Yeah,
saying, come down
right?
to Kansas City.
I get it though.
Teach you about chocolate bars and potato chips.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. So the funny thing about you guys speaking about Lord of the
there's
Rings,
a lot of
and
funny
that
things
is
about us.
when I went when we were at Grand Con, actually, one of the guys bought it.
Paul.
Somebody, yeah, Paul bought it, and he set it up, and they were playing. So I came by and asked, like, hey, I keep hearing this is like pandemic, what's your take on it? And they were like, nope, not like pandemic at all. It was like exactly what you guys are saying, like, nope, it was a complete lie. And he also said he spent like 30 minutes trying to set up like the Eye of Sauron and get the tower built and everything. It was like a game in itself to even set the board up. So yeah.
Nope.
That's
not like
always the
Pandemic.
challenge at a convention when we're running demo zones.
Oh, yeah.
Of you always have that game that's being demoed that has some over convoluted piece you've got to try to put together.
Mm-hmm.
I think last year was Life of the Amazonia was pretty popular, and you got to put together like a bunch of those little trees that are like cardboard pieces that slide together.
Yep.
But there's like 100 of them in the box,
Yeah.
and you're sitting there like you sit down to like punch it and get it all set up and everything. And you give yourself 45 minutes to do it. And 15 minutes before people are showing up, you realize that I'm not going to get this done. There's too many of these trees.
Yeah.
Right. So
That is a
Yeah.
game that I actually went ahead and got the deluxe on. That was how I played it. I played it for the first time with Sam Healy on the Dice Tower cruise, and I played the deluxe. And I saw when you're getting the regular edition, I'm like, that's all cardboard trees. There's zero chance and I like the game a lot, so I'm like, it will not get to my table if I have to put all those trees together. I'm just gonna get the wooden pieces and
Smart.
call it good, bro.
Yeah,
But I have that whole game set up. Like I have all the cardboard, everything set up in the box, and so it's like. But yeah, I got all the pieces because that game is fire. If you haven't played it, it's super
Nope.
good. But yeah, there's zero chance I'm putting those trees together. Yeah, not pandemic. We have been lied to. That was the vibe. So the last two that I have on here are Nature and A Place for All My Books. And you know how I feel about A Place for All My Books, man. That game actually is right there. Right. It's up there. Yeah. It's so fun to try to do this backwards. I don't know. And yeah, man, I like that game. And that's your fault because you're the one who taught it. But that game is just really good. And I'm glad that I picked it up because it's a lot of fun. And I've definitely already taught it a whole bunch of times to people. And like I brought it out to Strong Tower and literally just taught it, I think probably 3 or 4 times, maybe 2, I don't know, but I think it was 3 or 4. Really enjoy that game, so I'm glad to see that that's on there. So people hopefully will have the same experience.
Great game. Another one that I think almost got damaged by the advertising, right? And we talked about this. That the advertising, even the box says the cozy game of gathering, organizing, and admiring good books, right? And really, really marketed as being a cozy game. And I just don't. I played it a number of times with a number of different people. Cozy is not the description anybody has given it.
No,
right? It's very thinky. Very much you got to kind of plan it out. But talk about a theme that will speak to a board gamer, right?
yeah.
Like that thing's built on you're an introvert, right? When you're home organizing your books, your social battery, which is where that's your economy, right? Is your social battery fills up when you're at home, and it drains much quicker when you're in town trying to buy more books, right?
So good.
Like building it up, you get 1 or 2 battery at a time, right? But you go into town and it's like, well, it's going to cost you 5 battery if you want to go buy a book. And you're like, oh man, but yeah, talk about speaking to your audience.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
they nailed it. Like, just let's go play introverts on a board, right?
It's so good. It's so good. All right, so now I'm excited for the surprise. What are the 4 games that aren't listed? That we just went through that have been added. We're kind of coming up against it time-wise, and so, but if you want to throw those 4 out, and let's see.
Yeah, so there's a game out there called Corgi Pile Up. Sounds about as goofy as it is, right? Little corgi dogs. It's from
Hey,
it's from a group in St. Louis called Gamehead. Paul Solomon, if you guys know him, right? Yeah.
Sorry, with no
I think it's funny
pregame conversation. I had no idea that you were going to lead out with Corgi Pile Up as your surprise game. That's great. So sorry, you caught me off guard there.
I would say it's the next one on the list, but I skipped one because I knew it was going to cause that reaction, and I'll come back to it. So, not even the goofiest one on the list, right?
Oh, good.
We've got one called the Dark Quarter, which is kind of a murder mystery type game where you're out there trying to kind of solve a mystery with a group of people. Cooperative game. Fountains, which is brand new, right? It's just starting to hit the shelves out there. We grabbed it from my internet's not going to keep up with me talking, from our friends at the OP, right at the op.
Yeah.
So they sent that out to us. That one's we've seen it quite a bit. We'll see it this weekend. You should hear a lot about it coming out of Essen. I think it's going to get a lot of plays there. So we're excited about that one. And then the one I skipped over because I knew what reaction I was going to get, and I got it out of Corgi Pile Up instead. But a local publisher here in the Kansas City area has come out with a card game called Oopsie Poopsie. And Oopsie Poopsie's also got a subtitle of the Litter Box Edition, right? It's all about cats and trying to keep your cats in your yard. And, you're trying to draw cats away from other people and trying to make cats go away and everything. So it's right up Ray's alley.
Oh, man.
Right? But it's
chore.
all about trying to be the first one to have a specific number of cats in your yard at the end of the games.
Boy, that is a tough
My cat litter is better than yours. My cat. No, so
just to further that, we're going to take Oopsie Poopsie and we're taking Corgi Pile Up. We're putting them on the same table.
Oh, yeah.
They both play pretty quick. The demo sessions are about 2 hours. So we decided we'll have one person teach both of those games, and you'll just learn one, then you move into the other one. The good thing is if you play that game, you're put into an entry to win both of those games, right? So
that's cool.
Well, make sure those cars don't go flying because they'll be raining cats and dogs.
Cats and dogs, yeah. All right.
See you next week.
Over.
Definitely familiar with Oopsie Poopsie. Have played Oopsie Poopsie. Actually reviewed Oopsie Poopsie. And if you watch our review, Ray couldn't get to we couldn't work it out where Ray could play it with me to do the review, which was important, right? Because it's cat game. My kids love it, and so. But if you watch that review, if you ever played Mortal Kombat 2, that review would really bring you back some nostalgia because I took Ray going poopsie like that instead of the toasty, and then he just comes in every once in a while out of the side. It's actually pretty awesome. But I actually did that review with my son, my oldest son, and he hopped on and did the review with me, and this was his first time being on film, and actually he did film, camera, whatever.
It's a really great game. There's a couple of things that I really love about it is one, Jeff, the guy who created it, is not going to be the guy teaching it, right? So we actually have somebody else teaching the game. Jeff's going to be there. He's teaching a completely different game for us. And I love that he was willing to do that. He wanted to teach something different, let somebody else teach his game.
Yeah.
Right. Felt like you'd get maybe a more true experience. Obviously, he talks a lot about the making of the game and stuff like that. And that's a great story. If you get a chance to go look at that story of how that game was made, that was basically his daughter, who was very young at the time, 7 or 8 years old, saw a news article on a screen somewhere about a little girl that went into business for herself and was doing things. And she's like, I could do something like that. I could make a game. Right. And the next thing he knew, he came home and she's got Post-it notes all over the floor. And she's mapping out how this game's going to work and everything. And they sat down and made a game together. Right.
Yeah,
and it started to sell. And he had it at Gen Con for a little bit. He was working at a booth and was able to sell a few copies there. And it's just a fun game, and it's local to Kansas City. So we like to kind of herald our local guys. Right. So.
Yeah. No, Jeff's awesome. Yeah, I've had a number of conversations with him. So, yeah, stoked. Glad that's going to be there. It's a fun one. I agree. It's simple, but it's engaging. There's a lot of good things about it. So, all right, awesome. Well, hey, we are kind of up against that. So, before we end the episode here, Bill, can you just tell people exactly when Meeple-A-Thon is, where they can get tickets, or any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I think you can get tickets from not Patrick Mahomes, but Patrick Mahomes' brother. No, so
he's scalping him in the back end, bro, you gonna get this from me? I'll sign it too. Sorry,
I'll sign it for you. My name is Mahomes, right? Yeah. So, Meeple-A-Thon is coming up here shortly. So November 14th through the 16th, It's 2 weekends before Thanksgiving, right? So just before the holidays, just before you get to go deal with all the in-laws and your own laws and all everybody else you got to sit down with, right? Like come play some board games with some strangers and have some fun for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
November 14th through the 16th, you can go to Meeple-A-Thon.com and get badges there. The badge prices will tell you that early bird pricing still, we've kind of left that going.
Nice.
We're getting a lot of attention. A lot of people are buying. We're like, you know what, we're just going to roll with early bird pricing for a while. So
Nice.
Get them while we still have that pricing available because it's really good value. I think it's $55 for the weekend or something like that. So it's not bad at all. And you get a chance to come up and you can come out and hang out with me. I'll be there all weekend. Joe's going to be there all weekend.
Yep.
Joe's not only going to be there all weekend, I'm speaking straight to Joe's heart because we've got a hot games area set aside just for you, buddy.
Yeah.
So he gets to kind of sit down with those hot games and teach some people how to play some of the more popular games in our game library. So.
Yep, it's gonna be awesome. Now I'm technically not there the whole weekend because I have to leave early on Sunday, but I'll be there Friday and Saturday, all day Friday, all day Saturday.
Saturday is a big day anyway. So
yeah, the only reason why I have to leave is because I'm going to PAX the very next weekend, and so I want to get back and actually be able to hang out with my family for a little bit before I go, and then also have like rest between travel because that's a couple long days. So, but I will be there.
Those that are interested in who else is going to be there, just kind of a quick little drop, right?
Yeah.
Our family plays games.
Yeah.
I was at Grand Con this year. I got a chance. That was the first time I got a chance to actually meet them. I'm a big fan of their YouTube channel and their material and stuff. They're coming down for the weekend. They're going to do some stuff with us on their way to BGG Con the following weekend.
Yeah. Cool.
So, and Roll for Sandwich is the one that we just recently announced. So come see him. He's going to do some Roll for Sandwich live from the convention floor, and he'll be there all weekend playing games and meeting people and bringing his new book. So come check him out too. We're trying to get Joe to do a book signing, but he's humble. Like he doesn't want to sign this book. I'm going to bring a copy to get it signed myself, but yeah.
Oh, Bill, man, you're the best.
Just bring a bunch of copies. We'll sit you down somewhere.
Yeah. Like, what's that? Nothing.
like Ray signed it before I brought him up. So,
Now we'll get people. Yeah.
Right.
See, I'm not Ray. I'm Ray's little brother. Yeah, it's fine. Don't you worry about it.
You keep joking that I'm the more famous here, but you are wildly much more famous than I am and have so many more irons in the fire than me. But sign those books, Joe.
I want to make Jesus famous, bro. I ain't worried about the rest of it.
Amen.
Let's go make his name famous.
That's what we're about.
Dope ski. All right, hey, cool. We're gonna have no real cool wrapped up ending. That's it. This is it. It's over. The podcast has ended.
Done.
Thank you so much for paying attention. We're done.
See you next time.
Bye. Adios. We're finished. Cool. Thank you so much for listening. We truly appreciate it. And as always, we want to leave you with Matthew 5:16. Let your light shine before others so that they may see your good works and glorify our Father who is in heaven. Again, we love y'all. Thank you so much. cbglootdrop@gmail.com. Bill, thanks so much for taking the time to join us. Any last profound words? Too late. Sorry. We've already ended the episode. Deuces. Peace. Later, y'all.
You guys.